So here I am tracing or transferring an image onto a white gessoed and sanded board, wooden board. This was the inspiration picture, and if you look there, you'll see where I made the eyes bigger in Photoshop. But it doesn't even matter, because in the finished image that didn't translate, doesn't look anything like her. I guess my mind's just like, it's a guideline. So here she is transferred on, and then I use this workable fixative. I spray that on there and it makes it where the graphite lines don't smear. And the progression in oil paint. Pink hair, looks like a Karen. That's a weird thing. So she was starting to become a Valentine lady, as you see, and she ended up with heart-shaped hair. And I asked online what color her eyes should be. I got a lot of lilac, purple, pink, red, green, some white. I decided to give her some multicolored eyes, including purple here, and then a little later some green, and then pink-ish, pink pupils. And I kind of like how it ended up. My aunt, you'll see it in a minute, she says they look like pimento stuffed olives. I'm like, that's exactly what I was going for, huh? Yeah, there's the pink. I don't like pimentos or green olives, so whatever, yeah. Okay, so I have on the screen what kind of brush this is, and I am doing a red paint, a quinacridone red for these lines, and then later on I use just a titanium white, and it's a wet on wet blendy method to get this hair. See the white? And then this finer brush, which I'll put its name on the screen, is good for details, smaller hairs. Now I need to wait until all this dries to add a second layer of things like highlights, maybe deeper shadows. But I am not ready to do that yet because it is all still very wet. Hello, hello. This is Rachel of Rachel Gets Creative. Welcome to my channel. You've been here a minute as I worked on this pink-haired lady. She was technically for Valentine's Day, but she's not done yet. And it is Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day. Galentines, Palentines, Catentines, whatever you celebrate, or if you don't, whatever. I do. So Andrew got me a couple pretty things. The first one is this necklace from one of my favorite online jewelry people. Her name is Anna Koplik, so I will wear that tonight when we go out and eat Italian food. All the bread, all the pasta, maybe some wine. It's gonna be good. And he also got me this cool thing, and I don't remember the maker, but I'll put it up here. Look at this raven claw. Woo! And I'm going to use it to tie back the curtain, and it's going to look cool. It's like a hook, but I'm going to use it as a curtain hook. That's neat. That's neat. Hello again. So, I like her all right. I've had a couple of compliments on the lips. I kind of like the multicolor eyes. She's not done yet. She's at a point where she's drying, and then I will go in and add some highlights and some highlights to the eyes and maybe the lips and definitely the hair. And I don't know if she reads Valentine's, if she needs an arrow stuck through something by Cupid. She's okay. This is an awkward position, So I didn't want to put a nail in my wall yet, so let's pop her fake picture up here, and I will talk about some things I learned while painting her. They're kind of little things, but I think they're worth visiting. So if you don't want to be here for the recap, I love ya, and happy Valentine's Day, and I hope you get to eat pasta and bread and drink wine, and any day you feel like it. It doesn't have to be February 14th, does it? Well, alrighty, got my notes here. Nothing groundbreaking this time, actually some little small technical things. So you saw I sprayed it with workable fixative. Then I came back and tried to put down sort of a gray wash or a brown wash, I can't remember. That way I could judge the lights and the darks against that tinted color. It wouldn't stick at all. That workable fixative, it just sort of evaporated up. I don't think I was making that point very well. So this is a wooden panel. I put gesso on it, white gesso. I sanded it. I did that a couple of times. Then I traced the image on it with the graphite paper. So, and the reason I sprayed the workable fixative is so those graphite lines, whether I drew them or transferred them, would hold and not smear. They would be locked in place with that workable fixative. Then I thought I'd tint the canvas, but you tint it with a watery acrylic, and that would not stick after I did the workable fixative. So my point is just tint first before you spray the fixative. That's what I was trying to say. I think it came out a little wrong and confusing. Okay, back to me. So put the tinted base down on the white on the drawing before you spray the workable fixative. Very small. Okay, these guys, they're used for shading when you draw. They're called tortillons, I think. And they're also good for picking up oil paint that you want to take off the canvas. Now you can do this with a Q-tip, but it's fuzzy and might stick fuzzy on there, and plus it's not a fine point. So this was great because I went back and forth about those eyebrows. I'm like, I had them dark, I had them brown, dark brown. Now they're sort of a strawberry blonde, and that is better, I think. And I was able to take paint back up with this. So little tip. Okay, razor blade. Every time I'd look down, there'd be a hair in the canvas. It was never a Rachel hair, I don't think, because it wasn't curly. It was a cat hair. It was your hair. And it's just going to happen. And I'm not getting rid of my cat. So I picked out the hair with these dang nails. I can't pick up anything. With the razor blade, boop. When I was aware, I made myself aware of it, because what happens is that oil paint's wet, it stays wet for a long time, stuff lands in it, dust lands in it, and if you don't notice, it dries in it, and there's no getting it out. And that's just a mess. How do professional artists avoid that if they have cats? I know they have cats, some of them. Okay, I don't know. And the other thing, so I've noticed that I get in a hurry, and I think it's because even though it'll take days for oils to dry, I could literally go eat whatever, sleep, come back, and it'll still be wet so I can work with it. I'm so used to working with acrylics that I feel like I have to do everything in a hurry. I have to blend in a hurry. I feel like I can put down a layer and that it'll dry instantly like acrylics, but it won't. And so then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put on another layer over here, and I'm gonna darken this, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work because my layers aren't dry. So I just need to get into that oil mindset versus that acrylic mindset. And that's part of what I'm doing. That's part of my lessons, my learning. So she's not done yet, but she'll be done soon, and I'm going to work on a couple of small ones coming up, and hopefully finish by the end of February, which will keep me on track for doing 24 oil paintings in 2024. Now, that's my point is, I don't care about having 24 paintings. I care about the practice, the consistent practice, and trying to learn new things, which is why I'm documenting it like this. And I'm sure I'm blah blah again, boring, blah blah. Okay, let's call this the end. And I will see you next time. I love ya. And Ravenclaw says bye bye. Bye bye. By the way, if you're curious, my Harry Potter house is not Ravenclaw. It is straight up Hufflepuff. And now I got the thrift store sweater to prove it. Okay, see you later. Bye-bye.